Hey, welcome all you Adam heads out there. Where are you doing? How's everybody doing out there? All right. Well, this is going to be a take four because I think I left my camera in the garage and it was so warm and it kept shutting down near the end. So let's try this again, shall we? Let's see what we got going on. Went with band over. I gotta get my pointer here. Let's see. We're on Shortwave 1, so we're starting off here. So let's see what we got going on.
Su buena señal, ¿no? Sí, sobre todo la...
And he would meet with whomever he had to in order to put an end to the sanctions on the Cuban people. He recalled that with that objective, he had already spoken in the past with Senator Juan Martinez, Congresswoman Ileana Ross, and Congressman Dan Burgeon, a co-sponsor of the Helms-Burton Act, which codifies the blockade against Cuba, and had a small talk with Republican Senator Ted Cruz. He referred to his attempts to talk to former U.S. President Donald Trump, who imposed more than 240 measures on Cuba, as well as with current President Joe Biden, who maintains a similar policy to his predecessor. Still,
I'm so sick of your politics.
Message, and you'll hear me explaining as we get into it. Of the kingdom of God came to an end, and that, as you may remember, when Christ was hanging on the cross in AD, the veil of the temple was rent in two, and from that time forth, God was finished using the nation of Israel, using the synagogue.
Que eran provinciales entre municipios y se hacían un espectáculo en los estadios. Iguaní ganó 9 campeonatos.
Whiteness. Anyway, we'll talk about these stories and a whole bunch more as the show unfolds. And of course, we'll take your phone calls to see what you think of the things that are going on. But let me begin with Nancy Pelosi out of Taiwan. The U.S. Air Force plane carrying Speaker of the House Nancy Pelosi was allowed to take off out of Taiwan this morning.
I should have blown it out of the sky.
Reports came in to me around 7:30 this morning, 7:30 a.m. Eastern U.S. time, that Pelosi's aircraft did, in fact, safely depart from Taiwan. Pelosi concluded her controversial visit late last night as she met with the island of Taiwan's leader, Tsai Ing-wen. She received an award, one of Taiwan's highest civilian awards, the Order of Propitious Clouds with Special Grand Cordon, for her firm stance in
What's going on, China? What are you
freedom,
doing with that
democracy, and
for?
human rights.
She's the worst person in the world.
The Chinese Foreign Ministry has condemned Pelosi's trip, saying it seriously infringes upon China's sovereignty and territorial integrity, and will have a severe impact on the political foundation of China-U.S. relations.
See, I wonder why.
So, Nancy Pelosi made her big splash in Taiwan and has left.
Yeah, left the building, all right.
In that same area,
Put a cancer on
in that
freaking
same
China.
area
Leave them
of the
there, but
world,
China, Japan, and all the guys,
has
leave them
ordered
alone.
a complete
You
halt
don't belong there.
to the export of natural sand to Taiwan. And you know, at first glance, people say sand. So what? Well, Taiwan makes computer chips, and the silicone necessary to make those chips comes from Oh, yeah, sand. Now, there's other developments. Chinese battery maker CATL has announced that they are freezing the opening of a $5 billion battery plant in the United States. That battery plant was supposed to make batteries for Tesla and Ford. We've also received reports that claim, but I have not yet been able to verify them, that Chinese suppliers are allegedly suspending all product and parts deliveries to the company Apple. Yeah, as an Apple computer, as an Apple iPhones, yeah, that Apple. Reports claiming that Chinese suppliers have suspended all product and parts deliveries. This has allegedly crippled the Apple Corporation. So working to verify the facts around those claims. Now, these little changes that I've just outlined, a halt to the export of sand to Taiwan, Chinese battery manufacturer freezing a $5 billion battery plant.
Who the hell cares?
Of government were also presented by the future leaders of the ministries related to health, education, mines and energy, defense, environment, culture, planning, anti-corruption, justice, sport, youth and agriculture. Morocco's King Mohammed VI has called for a restoration of diplomatic ties with neighboring Algeria, which broke off diplomatic relations with Rabat last year. During the traditional speech marking the 22nd anniversary of the king's ascension to the throne, Mohammed said he aspires to establish with Algerian President Abdelmajid Tebboune normal relations, quote, between the two brotherly peoples. He urged Moroccans, quote, to preserve the spirit of fraternity, solidarity and good neighborliness towards our Algerian brothers. He described the two countries as being more than neighbors, quote, we consider Algeria's security and stability as part of Morocco's security and stability. What affects Morocco will also affect Algeria because they are complementary twins. Morocco and Algeria have long been at odds over the disputed territory of Western Sahara, where the Algiers-backed Polisario...
Más adelante se pregunta otro, ¿más ahorro? Pero si están ahorrando desde el 1 de enero del 59. Sí, señor. Contigo, Reinaldo.
Bueno, un poco en solidaridad.
In a ceremony that took place in the Casa Rosada in Buenos Aires, the president of Argentina, Alberto Fernandez, swore in Mercedes Marco del Ponto, the new Secretary of Strategic Affairs. Fernandez said during the event, quote, we are starting a different stage with a strong impulse to issues related to management in a very complex world. The president pointed out that the country overcame the pandemic and added that he continues to work to face and overcome the effects of the conflict between Russia and Ukraine. Quote, Mercedes has been a protagonist of numerous policies that we've been carrying out all this time, and she has done a great job in the Federal Administration of Public Revenues, the AFIP. It is a pleasure to welcome her to the National Cabinet. The Argentinian president had assured that Marco de Ponto's successor at AFIP, Carlos Castaneto, will continue the excellent work done by Del Ponto. Fernandez also thanked Gustavo Beliz, who held the position of Secretary of Strategic Affairs, quote, for your loyalty and your work over the years and your enormous capacity and impeccable moral values. The Mexican Institute of Financial Executives, or the IMEF, reported Monday that Mexico's economy regained strength at the start of the third quarter of 2022 after losing dynamism in the previous period. The Institute's manufacturing indicator increased 2.9 points in July compared to the previous month to 52.2, hitting the expansion zone above 50 points again. Meanwhile, its non-manufacturing indicator increased 0.4 of a point to July to 52.2, accumulating over 50 points for the first half year. The IMEF said, quote, this result suggests that after the loss of dynamism that characterized the economy at the end of the second quarter of the year, the economy has regained vigor at the start of the third quarter. However, the Institute, which groups the main financial executives of Mexico's major companies, warned that, quote, the global environment continues to impose numerous challenges. Private analysis consulted by the Central Bank of Mexico projected an economic expansion of 1.8% in 2022 for the country. The first international progressive theater festival kicked off in Caracas, Venezuela, under the motto, Let Humanity Be Human. The festival will present 47 shows with theatrical groups from 15 countries through August the 7th. The objective of the event is to spread a message of unity for all the peoples of the world through the arts, freedom of thought, and action for life. On this occasion, there will be a tribute to the German playwright and poet Bertolt Brecht, with the selection of several scenes from his most representative works. Director Enrique Montilla said, quote, "We wanted to pay tribute to the greatest representative of universal epic theater, since this is the concept of the festival. That is to present a political, conscious, critical, lucid theater for all Venezuelan spectators." The Progressive Theater Festival kicked off with the play Contra la Miseria, staged by the National Theater Company at the Municipal Theater of Caracas. Actor Tomás Soto said about the play, Contra la Miseria, quote, "It is a dialectical theater, a theater for thinking, for reflection, which presents a denunciation of the capitalist world, interpreted by 23 actors on stage." Venezuela's Minister of Culture, Ernesto
con varias herramientas digitales y muchos campos como la astrología, el arte, la acest centru românesc să specificăm aici că Uzinul este o localitate cu majoritar românească.
Da. Și este cea mai de vest localitate românească din area de răspândire a limbii române. Mai la vest de Uzin nu există o altă așezare românească.
Ei bine, împreună cu alți oameni valoroși de acolo, ați hotărât să înființați Societatea Literară Artistică Tibiscus, sub girul căreia s-au derulat foarte multe evenimente, unul dintre cele cu tradiția fiind Festivalul de Poezie Drumuri de Spice. În afară însă de această Societate Literară Artistică Tibiscus, sunteți și fondator al Casei Limbii Române. Și evident că și...
I'm telling you, they are crying, the people of God are crying.
Esta suspendió el tradicional carnaval que cada año se desarrolla en La Habana durante el mes de agosto. El anuncio fue hecho por el gobernador de La Habana, Reinaldo García Zapata, quien confirmó que no será posible realizar el evento este año por causa de la crisis energética que atraviesa la isla, según publicó el periódico oficial Tribuna de La Habana. No será posible realizar el carnaval en estas condiciones, informó el funcionario castrista durante una reunión en la capital, y añadió que la falta de combustible genera dificultades al transporte público. Pero el pueblo opina que también hay otras razones. Desde La Habana, el analista y periodista independiente Julio Alea.
Buzzer's still in there.
Yet eternal, immortal life. These people.
Scoglio di corimba depredare non è di caso caso di cultura a società culturale e care recite, siendo in queste categorie di risco della preescolar, apoi el de ciclo inferior al investimento generale de ciclo superior al scoglio generale, quindi la studenti recitatori adulti. Desidero di stimoli face mai molto manifestare, iar iarna face...
Va a protestar. Este régimen dictatorial ha sostenido.
You're listening to WRNO Worldwide Radio on frequency 7505 kilohertz. This is Broken Country Roads. We would enjoy hearing your comments about our program, or if you have prayer requests. Email is WRNOradio@mailup.net. Regular mail is Country Roads, P.O. Box 895, Fort Worth, Texas 76101.
And now we will continue with the prayers. This prayer is acknowledging.
Care che fuga interiori se dicevo a iubire. Entra en un área de
24 horas del día, Radio Martín.
Tuve que reiniciar el teléfono de fábrica y aunque perdí mucha información, al menos logré establecer el correo electrónico. La emisora la sigo escuchando casi a diario y a partir de hoy comenzaré nuevamente con el día de los informes de recepción. En una libreta fui anotando esas escuchas, pero ya están algo viejas y no sé si serán de utilidad para usted.
Saludos y muchas gracias por abrirme las puertas de tu restaurante, Manuel.
Muy buenas, ¿qué tal? ¿Cómo estás?
Bueno, ¿cómo es la cocina que realizas aquí en Quillo? ¿Cómo la defines?
¿Cómo lo defino? Más ligerito, muy de temporada.
Un poco para divertirse, ¿no? Para que el comensal disfrute de lo que está comiendo.
Sí.
Rolling some 43-year-old cassettes. On August 6th, the French chansonnier Louis Saint-Marier would do the programming for 1 hour on what would have been his 90th birthday. At least it is sometime this year. A program from the Carte Blanche series recorded in summer 1979. The schedule via Austria, 17 to 18 UT, and 6180 toward Europe, beamed west, and 22 to 23 on 13730 towards North America, beamed 295 degrees. And the next one will be on September 3rd. More about that later. Curtis John Milling says, since last year I'm trying to restore some of the old cassettes and bring them back to hi-fi quality for the informative radio fans. A matter of heart, no commercial activity. And to help cover the costs, he has a GoFundMe campaign. And he says all transmissions already broadcast are available online as well at AquiRadioAndorra.com. About the reactivated RNA Angola, we reported last week on 4949.7. Manuel Menes in Spain was hearing it on July 19th. Says he could not hear it when he checked on July 21st, 22nd, 23rd, or 24th. And Lucio Otavio Bobrovic in Brazil says it was on the air again and heard July 25th and, for example, 26th at 0530 UT, and he says it was a good signal, totally readable. About LRA 36 in Antarctica. This week's observations, no signal on Saturday, July 23rd. Hoy por la mañana entendimos todo lo que estamos escuchando.
Products. Meeting held with representatives of HALE International. The Deputy Minister of Labour and Social Protection received the representatives of HALE International. At the meeting, the representatives presented the programs and projects implemented in Mongolia, received information about the Mongolian government's policy direction on family and child protection, and the reform of the family law, and exchanged opinions on other matters. The Deputy Minister mentioned during the meeting that the government of Mongolia is working to develop and improve the family policy, the main concepts of the revision of the family law, and the legal regulations related to child adoption through the reform of the law. In turn, HALE International representatives expressed the possibility of sharing their experience, offering opinions, coordinating with government policies and directions, and supporting them in improving the regulation of child adoption. Also, the sites emphasized that the library project implemented in Songenhachen district of Ulaanbaatar city is bearing fruit in supporting children's development, and discussed and agreed on the future expansion of the project. This US-based international organization has been operating in Mongolia since 1999, rendering international adoption service and implementing projects and programs.
A global abolitionist early childhood ecosystem and visionary creative portal. It was founded by Akia Kai Gross, who goes by they, them pronouns. Oh, shit. Oh, give me a break. Are you kidding me? Oh, let me finish. Gross, in the Who Are We section of Woke Kindergarten's website, is described as an abolitionist early educator, cultural organizer, and creator, currently innovating ways to resist, heal, liberate, and create with their pedagogy, woke kindergarten.
He's confusing the hell out of me.
From appreciating
Imagínese usted a dos prisiones.
culture. Founded on September 30th, 1939 by Orestes Aragon and led by Rafael Lai, Aragon are exponents of Cuban traditional song. In 2020, they won the Latin Grammy Award to the Best Traditional Tropical Album for Cha Cha Cha, Homenaje a lo Tradicional, featuring Cuban singers Alain Perez and Isaac Delgado. Cuban ballet students won several gold medals at the just concluded 9th South African International Ballet Competition. For solo entrants, Carolina Rodríguez, 18, won gold.
Ha brindado hasta el momento y la respuesta de él fue toda a la escucha. Él escuchó todos nuestros mensajes, nuestras súplicas y solo apuntó algunos datos y al final oró por todo lo que está sucediendo con nuestros hijos y con todo lo que está sucediendo en la...
It's not jammed, 3480, 3910, and 3930. Models 4450, 6520, and 6600. Them's at 1318 UT, July 26th, but by 1520 they were off the air, at least from the lower 4 frequencies. Via PBS, Amanpour and Company, and probably also on CNN, I saw a report about an independent Russian news network giving a new lease on life. An interview with the editor-in-chief of TV Rain, as in Water from the Sky, relaunched from Latvia after being forced out of Russia over its coverage of the war in Ukraine. You should be able to find that video online if you did not see my post of a direct link to it via msn.com. It seems that World Christian Broadcasting, also known as Madagascar World Voice, is becoming reliable in off-frequenciness. July 27th at 2033, I heard Arabic wavering around 13709.949. At other hours, before 18 UT, the same nominal frequency is occupied by Saudi Arabia, which is also skewed from the exact frequency. Via international vacuum, internet, medium, high, very high, and super high frequencies. World of Radio 2149. An on-demand service on our website, worldofradio.com. Voluntary financial support, always welcome via PayPal, not necessarily in U.S. funds, to WORADIO@yahoo.com, or by money order or check on a U.S. bank to Glenn Hauser, P.O. Box 1684, ENID, OK, 73702. Via International DX Digest and NRC DX News, Tim Hall reports about Mexico. Last August, the IFT released a list of 85 new AM allocations available for auction for commercial licensees, a mix of new allocations and potential replacements for former AM stations that have finished moving to FM, and even some that still exist, 580 XCFI, 830 XLN, 1400 XCSH. Similarly, these may be trying to leave AM if they can get someone else to take over their license. Of these, only 16 received bids or granted construction permits. Then there's the list, which I won't go into detail, but the call letters have been assigned apparently sequentially, which is rather odd. All of these start with XECC-A, and then one more letter. Also, 13 new social licenses have been granted outside of this auction and appear as licensed stations in the July 2022 IFT station list. And all of these also have similar call signs starting with XECS, and then 2 more letters starting with A, B, C, D, E, F, or G. Also, he says 600 XEMN and 630 XEFB remain silent. XEMN has been removed from station list, but XEFB remains.
Que ha escrito libros, ducho en conferencias dentro y fuera del país, creador de la segunda aplanadora santiaguera, con la cual Pacheco ganó 3 títulos, y creador del programa de talento. Sé que la comisión tiene una...
are still active. Ron Howard in California reports on a Myanmar anomaly. The normal sequence is for 5985 to start about 11:30 UT, give or take about 10 or 15 minutes. And then Myanmar Radio on 9730 in parallel closes down anytime between 11:30 and 12. That did not happen on July 24th, a very rare event. 5985 never came on the air past 11:30, but instead 9730 was heard still broadcasting past 1435, but with strong interference from China in English from 12 to 14. But in the clear again after 1401 with a drama with dogs barking. Another Myanmar radio frequency, 5915 on July 24th, heard between 11:55 until off at 14 UT. After 12 UT, it seems to be religious, perhaps Christian, with preaching. July 25th, Ivo Ivanov, listening via remote in Thailand, says Myanmar radio in English, very good on 9730, from 1530 to 1700 instead of 5985. However, colliding with Vietnam in English and Russian after 1600. Then on July 27th, Evo says 9730 from 1130 UT. But this time there's interference from KNLS Alaska in Chinese on the same frequency between 11 and 12. And more from Ron Howard on Wednesday, July 27th at 1318. 5915 had an English language lesson. And on July 28th, he heard 9730 from the earliest time ever, 0850 UT, about 3 hours before their sunset. July 27th at 0623, and again at 0722, I was hearing a weak pirate just slightly below 6920 AM. K-90s, but I could not make it out for sure, but judging from recent reports at HF Underground, it's probably Radio Pushka, which means rifle in Russian, an ethnic pirate presumably in Western North America, as had been reported on July 23rd. Someone in BC said this station has been going non-stop since July 7th. The Antichrist pirate in Western North America, station YHWH, continues to be widely heard almost every night, 7475 around 04 UT, and he's been announcing a postal address. Rick Martin in Arizona, who monitors him the most, got a reply in the mail from PO Box 134, Olancha, California, 93549. He said he would not be doing broadcasts on his daytime frequencies for a while because of the heat and effects on his equipment. He likes 7475 when it is cooler at night. And because of gas prices, he's limiting to one broadcast per day, the transmitter and linear amp driven by a gasoline-powered generator. Also, he revealed that the vocalist on his theme song, Days of Hard Life, is his now ex-wife. Walt Slobodev says it closed down. He's sometimes asking for two-way contacts, as if hams would operate on a pirate frequency, but no luck so far. In his letter to Rick Martin, Josiah Elias said he bicycles a couple of times a week into town to go to the P.O. Box in Olancha. It seems that the reactivated T8AA Palau on 1584 kilohertz stays on the air all night, but there have been no IDs. Now, Tony Megan in NSW says, I spoke with someone there, suggests they put a voice ID around the top of the hour and maybe every 20 minutes, and they said they would be doing that. They're on automation overnight in parallel with their FM station, 87.9. Some items via Rusty X, telesputnik.ru, says the court of the Moscow district in Moscow found Google guilty of an administrative offense, violation of restriction of access to materials containing prohibited information. Interfax reports, namely false info about the course of a special military operation in Ukraine, discrediting the Russian armed forces. And a fine has been imposed of over 21.7 giga rubles. Now, that may sound like a lot, but since they're about 60 rubles per dollar, it's only 370 megadollars. I wonder what will happen if Google refuses to pay. Also, the American nonprofit organization Wikimedia has been fined for not removing illegal information, but that fine is only 5 mega rubles. And MK.RU says the Russian Federation has created a list of unfriendly countries, 48 of them, but now they've added 5 more. The token English broadcast from Spain disappeared without notice or explanation or apology. It had been Monday, Wednesday, and Friday at 22 UT on 17855 and the other 3 frequencies. But it was missing on Friday, July 22nd, and also the following Monday and Wednesday. We hope it's on a temporary for maybe a summer vacation. Anyhow, at the same time, for almost an hour, there's a scheduled broadcast in English from the Voice of Turkey, one of few left on shortwave on 9830 plus a few hertz. It's usually on the air, but not always, so we can still hear some English at that time, and even some German afterwards on occasion. The sleepier raiders at Emmerler forget to turn off the transmitter, and we hear a bit of German after 2300 on the same frequency, such as July 27th. Something's always erroneous at Emmerler. The following I heard about by listening to VOA's Flashpoint Ukraine, July 26th, about 1940, via WRMI 15770. VOA has a website called polygraph.info for fact-checking, a resource for verifying the increasing volume of disinformation and misinfo being distributed and shared globally. That is, www.polygraph.info. As of July 28th, checked at 15:10 UT, the WBCQ superstation was off the air again, nothing to be heard on 9330. It's been coming and going, and when on has been somewhat off frequency. Typical of the classic transmitters like July 26th at 1456 measured on 9330.061. Alan Rowe informs us about Radio Carpathia, featuring music from Eastern Europe, notably Romania, Moldova, Bulgaria, Ukraine, Slovakia, and Serbia. It already debuted in July on Channel 292 Germany, but premieres in August on WRMI. UT Thursday, August 4th at 0100 on 5850 and 7780, and then at 1300 on 15770, and also UT Sunday, August 7th at 01 on 5010. Or at the website where it may be simulcast, radiocarpathia.caster.fm. Actually, it seems the Radio Carpathia broadcasts on WRMI are actually featured as an extra from Radio North Europe International. Terry Colgan of Texas Radio Shortwave says there are tests for European listeners Wednesdays during August on WRMI, 15770, at 13 to 14 UT. On August 3rd, it includes 21 versions for the Yellow Rose of Texas, so it should be easy to identify, with multilingual IDs and SSTV images. On subsequent Wednesdays, encores of artist tribute programs, Willie Nelson, Buddy Holly, Stevie Ray Vaughan, and Roy Orbison. Special EQO cells available for correct reception reports. WWCR may be running